Hello, Vinny. It's your Uncle Bingo. Time to pay the check. Hi there, folks. I'm your friendly neighborhood soda, joined as always by Ben Big Fudge Rayner here on Rewind the Tape. And today we have a special treat. We are rewinding the tape on one of the most classic and iconic superhero movies of all time, 1989's Batman. Ben, how are you doing today?
I'm excited. I love this movie. I can't wait to get into it. It's a great movie. And spoiler alert, Michael Keaton is my favorite Batman. I don't come at me. I don't care what everyone says.
Well, it's not a spoiler for me because you tell me every week.
I know I do.
But
you know what? Well, let me go through how good is your memory? Because I have to keep up with you sometimes. Your
I'm
memory.
just busting your chops, my friend.
I know. Me too, man. How do you feel about this movie?
I enjoy it. It's not the one I go and rewatch the most, but every time I watch it, I enjoy. There's a lot of great stuff to be in here. There's a lot of, look back, it's like that's weird. It's like 30 years later, but there's some decisions too. It's like I wonder why Tim Burton decided to do those, i.e., Vicki, Vale in the Batcave, and the Joker being made the Batman, Bruce Wayne's parents' killer, but visually great. Anton first set design and his design for the vehicles spot on. There's a reason why all this is iconic. The dude did a good job. May he rest in peace. But overall, sorry.
Do you agree with me that this is the most, I don't want to say authentic, but this Batmobile looks the most like a bat and a club mixed together?
Well, I don't know where it is, but you could make an argument for the Batman Forever Batmobile. I think personally, okay. I think that's in my opinion, that's like number 2.
Okay, but this has less neon. That has a lot of neon, doesn't it? Or am I?
Sorry.
Didn't Batman Forever have a lot of neon, or am I thinking of?
You're thinking Batman and Robin. Like there was a little bit in the Forever one, but that one had like the proper cockpit with the sliding overhead. Mm-hmm. It had the 2 seats. So that one's more traditional. Like it was definitely veering that way. But I think just on the look on its own, it was phenomenal. And of course the Batwing, like the Batwing in this. If anybody watching this is curious, if you go onto Adam Savage's tested page, he does these videos every once in a while with the curator over at the Prop Store, which is an auction place that sells famous props, costumes, memorabilia for movies, like authentic stuff. And they actually have the scale model of the Batwing that was used in this movie. They had it for sale. And watch the video. It is so cool to see all the servos work, see just how detailed it is. Like the mini Batman in there actually is able to turn his head. All of the guns and the stuff is all functional. It is so great to see. I highly recommend everybody go watch that Adam Savage's tested page. But Ben, here's an important question. How did you come about this movie?
I remember watching it as a little kid. I don't remember how exactly I found it, but I really want to say this was my first exposure to Batman, but I'm not. Yeah, I think this was. I mean, an argument could have been made for Batman, the movie we talked about last week, but I honestly think I saw this one first.
Similar to me, as far as I can remember, this was my first exposure to Batman because, as I've said a few times on other shows, my parents were part of the Columbia Movie House collection, where back in the day, you'd pay like a couple bucks a month and you get a bunch of movies. And this was one of the ones we got. And the Bat case, scared the shit out of me. It's the one Batman movie that for years I couldn't watch until I was probably just about to hit 10 years old. I watched it, but it was one I couldn't watch because Jack Nicholson's Joker scared me as a child.
Really?
And I remember at this point I was having daily nightmares about Chucky, so I was very skittish. But still, you gotta admit though, the Joker is a scary character in here.
Yeah, I mean, people Joker in the Dark Knight is creepy. I don't know. I find Jack creepy as well. Definitely.
100% from all the stuff he does. And like the line I just opened with, like, hello, Vinny, it's your Uncle Charlie, time to pay, or Uncle Bingo, time to pay the check. And then he throws a freaking feather in the guy in the guy's throat and kills him.
But come on, how awesome is that scene at the art museum
Oh,
when
totally.
they enter and then they have the best time reading all the famous paintings? Cinnamon,
It's a great scene. Plus, with the song by Prince, that dance.
cinnamon, that's running on minds. Know it?
Yeah, it's definitely a great scene. So this movie came out on the premiere date was June 19th, 1989. The rest of the United States saw it on June 23rd. It was made on a budget of 35 to 48 million. Take a guess how much it made in the box office.
I'm going to get 256.
Up.
500.
Just a little down.
475?
Okay, not that little down, but $411.6 million, making it one of the highest grossing movies of all time when it came out.
Wow.
And the development of this was an interesting process. Like I watched the Shadows of the Bat making of documentary before this, and it was a 10-year journey just to get this film made. At one point, Bill Murray was attached to it, and I believe it was Eddie Murphy was attached to play Robin.
Yeah.
That's how long this movie was in development.
In any movie already Marlon Wayans. Oh, hey, Brendan.
Sorry, what was that, Ben?
Within any movie of Marlon Wayans. I don't know why I think it was Marlon Wayans.
I think Marlon Wayans was supposed to be later. It might have been two, but it was one of those two at one point in time was attached to be in here. And it's just like I'm glad they didn't, because Robin is a tough character to crack.
Oh, absolutely. No reason.
Yeah. You missed it earlier. I was the Joker.
There's a reason why we haven't gotten in him live action before, because
outside of Chris O'Donnell.
I mean a proper Robin.
But that's the thing, though. It's hard. It's one thing in comics, but it's hard to quantify in film having a child sidekick. Like I know Kick-Ass did it, but that was like a lightning in a bottle scenario.
Well, Kick-Ass is also a satire comedy.
Right.
Looking at I don't want to say character study, but you know what I mean. It wasn't a more traditional.
Right, and I think that's why that particular one worked as opposed to this, if you were to follow the traditional storyline.
But also, who would you cast to be Robin? Like,
who would you? Well, yeah, if you're going young, like, who would you at this point? Like, well, you could do the Jacob. No, I know he's a popular one, but Jacob Tremblay probably could pull it off.
Oh, you're talking about now. I'm thinking about in the 80s.
Oh, at that time?
You know who I can see doing it? You're going to laugh, and I can't believe I'm going to say this. Henry Thomas.
If he doesn't laugh, yes. I'm sorry, I hate his laugh. I hate not his laugh. I hate his way of explaining himself, like excitement in ET drives me nuts. No. Would Billy Dee have been a good Two-Face? I think so. I think Billy Dee absolutely would have easily pulled it off. And he was originally contracted to do Batman Forever, but they bought him out to bring in Tommy Lee Jones. But yeah, I think he would have done a good job for sure.
I'm happy they gave him. He was able to do Two-Face in the Lego Batman movie.
That's what I was gonna say. They did give him his due finally in the Lego Batman game, yes, which is a great
movie. I believe.
Oh, that's right, the movie. Yes, he was in the movie. That's right. Sorry, it's been a bit since I've seen the movie. No, I was glad to finally see him get his due, because that was one of the questions for years was what would Billy Dee's Two-Face have been like? And I think he would. Yeah, I think he would have knocked it out of the park. Can you imagine Lando's charisma but for evil?
Ooh, I'm getting chills.
Like, come on.
You know, okay, then we're doing fan casting. Imagine Robin Williams as a Joker.
He was one of the actors considered, because everybody wanted to do it, but he was one of the ones that was seriously considered.
I think he could have been really funny and really creepy. I think he had that element that Mark Hamill brings to the animated version, but in live action. And I think Robin Williams.
If you want to see examples of why what Ben said is actually accurate, go watch Death to Smoochie and 1 Hour Photo.
I think I need 1 hour photo.
1 Hour Photo is Robin Williams as a really creepy, evil
No,
guy.
I know it.
And then
One of my.
is him as like a comedian who gets fired and snaps and tries to kill the guy who replaced him. So I mean, yeah, he definitely would have had it in him. I think he also would have made a good Riddler, just because he had that energy.
A Riddler for that Forever movie or a Riddler in general? Because
he was offered Forever as well. Yeah, Riddler would have been good, but yeah, like I don't think anybody could have topped Nicholson's performance. Nicholson for this movie was perfect casting.
absolutely, yeah. That I love that scene. Yeah, he does so good, so damn good.
So I'm just going to give a brief summary of the movie before we hop into the characters and stuff like that. Gotham City, dark, dangerous, protected only by a mostly corrupt police department. Despite the best efforts of DA Harvey Dent and Police Commissioner Jim Gordon, the city becomes increasingly unsafe until a dark night arises. We all know criminals are superstitious, cowardly lot, so his disguise must be able to strike terror into their hearts. He becomes a bat. Enter Vicki Vale, a prize-winning photojournalist who wants to uncover the secrets of the mysterious Batman. And enter Jack Napier, one-time enforcer for Boss Grissom, horribly disfigured after a firefight in a chemical factory, who, devoid of the last vestiges of sanity, seizes control of Gotham's underworld as the psychotic, unpredictable clown prince of crime, the Joker. Gotham's only hope, it seems, lies in this dark, brooding vigilante. And just how does billionaire Bruce Wayne fit into all of this?
My feelings, obviously.
That is a good take. As Calendar Man. Calendar Man is one of those villains you never really think of, but I think that would be pretty good. You know who Calendar Man is, Ben?
I heard of him, don't know that much.
Basically, what he does is he does his kills all on holidays for the most part.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, he's obsessed with the calendar.
You know how I feel. How do you feel about Keaton as Bruce Wayne and as the Batman?
I like him. This is tough because I know people give him crap, but I'm actually a proponent of most of Ben Affleck's Batman. Like, that is actually my personal favorite Batman, but Keaton was my first. That'll never go away. I have a soft spot in my heart for Keaton's Batman.
You might be pretty excited from the Flash movie.
I'm not as excited as you, but yes, I'm definitely excited.
I mean, come on, think about it.
Oh no, I'm definitely up for it, because who would have thought that we would see Michael Keaton return for a third time as Batman?
Well, and impossible. One of my favorite Batman is in it. Don't forget Affleck is in it.
That's right. Ben Affleck is going to be in it as well. So of course, I'm definitely looking forward to the movie.
Did you say something that we're more excited to see Batman in the Flash than the actual Flash character?
Sorry, say it again?
Didn't say something about the movie that we're more excited to see Batman.
It definitely does. You're right. So that's why, like, if you look at Cesar Romero's Joker, like, it definitely plays the comedic stuff, but that's because that's the tone of the movie. And in order for the Joker to work, it has to fit hand in hand with the tone of the movie. So the Jack Nicholson's Joker works here, but it wouldn't work in The Dark Knight. And I would say vice versa with Heath Ledger.
Yeah, absolutely.
So our titular hero for the show is none other than Michael Keaton's Batman, Bruce Wayne. So we've just said our thoughts on him, but what do you think of the events that occurred with him in the movie? Like, there obviously, like I mentioned earlier, there were some things that are a little iffy, like Joker being the killer of Batman's parents. And
okay, I want to get into this. I know everybody hates on this and gives crap on it. I actually think they're genius. Because I don't know them coming for that well, okay? I'm going by the movie itself.
Of course.
This gives Batman an extra motivation to stop the Joker. And it makes sense to me why he would go to the length he goes to stop him. It is work for me. I can't help it. It is work for me.
If I'm being honest, if you were to take that out, I don't think it would change much. Like literally everything modern day Joker is doing in that movie is like appears to me enough for Batman to want to stop him. Yes, it adds that extra layer, but it's an extra layer that's not necessarily needed. It's like making Lex Luthor the cause of why Superman's parents had put him into the ship to throw him away. You know, it's like Dr. Connors being the one who made Spider-Man. It's like, yeah, it adds something, but it's not needed.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And that is fair. Like it is a smart writing move, but again, I don't think you need that personal connection.
Okay, but
Here's an example. Okay, this is a movie we're not reviewing, but what did you think of how they tied in Batman to the Joker's origin story in Joker? Same idea.
You know what? I like it. And to be honest, because it's not really Batman, it's more Thomas Wayne.
But they had Bruce Wayne in there. And then if you take a look at the movie, Joker's minions are the ones that kills the Batman. So in a way, like Batman's parents, sorry. So in a way, Joker is again tied to Batman's origin.
Yeah. And again, it worked for me. Like it worked for me in here. I mean, it worked for me because Batman and Joker are so intertwined.
Again, you're right, and it does add that layer. But I mean, to me, it's not a necessary layer. Like, at the end of the day, it doesn't affect my love of the movie or whatever. But it's a weird writing choice for me.
Are you coming as a fan of the movie or a fan of the comic?
Just a fan in general. Like, I mean, I'm just looking at it as does it work for me? Like, knowing everything I do, it's just like, for me, I didn't need it. But hey, it's 30 years. What do I know? It's part of the movie. It's something everybody remembers. So obviously, they did something right.
And it's not Hugo Weaving. Yeah. That's important. I think a lot of people think that the young Joker is played by Hugo Weaving. But
it's not. No, it's definitely not. It's played by, actually, I don't even know who the heck plays it. So yeah, let's get into the villain next. And of course, it is the aforementioned Jack Napier Joker. Like I said earlier, this character scared the crap out of me. Not just for obviously the image on the cover, because it's a scary image, but for when he electrocuted that mob boss. Yeah, that, no joke, frightened me as a child.
Yeah, I get that.
And it's still offsetting. Like, even watching it as a 34-year-old man, it's still a little creepy.
What do you think of the Joker's boss, played by Jack Palance?
Jack, you're my number one guy. Oh, I love him in this. He chews up the scenery and it fits. This was my first exposure to Jack Palance as well, before City Slickers.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, but that might mean for me too.
Put it in the comments. Are you referring to the Joker's outfit? Because that's pretty damn comic accurate. That's probably the most comic accurate outfit I've ever seen on a Joker live action.
Yeah. But we have to talk about the guy that's near this show. The Joker's number one henchman.
Bob.
Yes,
what do you think of the henchman?
I love him.
Just all of the henchmen. Yes, Bob is great. Bob is great.
Who is played by Jack Nicholson's friend? Not even the actor.
We're talking about a movie where a man dresses in a rubber suit as a bat, which definitely doesn't work in real life. So I think this one you could probably pull it off better. Actually, what's funny is if you watch the Shadows of the Bat documentary that I mentioned earlier, Jack Nicholson, when he's doing the interview, is dressed in Joker colors.
Really?
He's mostly purple. He's got a black pullover, but yeah, for the most part, he's in Joker colors.
We should talk about how big of an impact this movie made on the general public.
Not just that, but just think like the pop culture zeitgeist. Like, obviously, we were 2 years old when this movie came out, so we have no idea. But if you look at all the footage, you could not escape the promotion for this movie at all. I feel like everywhere you looked, you saw the bat signal.
Hell, they even paid homage to him.
And when we get to Batman Returns, we'll talk about this thing that Batman doesn't kill people. Actually, we could even talk about it in here.
Yeah. Hell, they even paid homage to the movie in Full House, if you remember.
Yes, they did. Yes,
No.
they did. Stephanie?
No, both of them. You see and Stephanie in that Halloween episode.
Right. That's right. Yes. Yeah. No. Like, it's interesting. I guess people wanted a serious Batman so bad, and it paid off in spades. Hearing stories about lines being around the block, and like you couldn't buy merchandise because it flew off the sales, and people were breaking into bus stops and stealing the posters.
This movie is iconic.
It's iconic, and so is this poster. Like, it tells you everything you need to know. Just give me a second, and I'll load it up because it's a great poster. Like, I have the Batman Returns one over here. I would love to have this one.
Let me hear it.
Like, it's just so perfect. It's so simple and perfect. It tells you everything you need to know.
And
it's a different logo than what's on the costume, funny enough.
What?
It's a different logo than what's on the costume movie.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this was the first iteration of a black suit Batman.
Correct. Yeah, because if I'm not mistaken, it wasn't around in the comics at the time.
No.
Yeah, no, because you're still doing the gray and the blue at this time. Yeah, no, everything up to then was gray, but this is the first all black, and it kick-started that fad for all the movies up until BVS.
Yeah.
I mean, you could throw in the variant suits because the symbols were gray and stuff like that. They've gotten forever in Batman and Robin. But I mean, if we're talking the primary ones, yeah, it's been all black. It was all black for years up until the BVS. And even in the comic books, they did the comics to reflect this.
And it's my favorite one, personally. I love this Batman.
I still have the toy car somewhere, actually. Hold on. See if I can fit right here. It's a little worn down, but I still have the Hot Toys car.
Hot Wheels.
Shut up. I'm just bugging.
Yeah, I mean, a Hot Toys car would be significantly bigger and more expensive.
Hey, Joseph, how you doing? What was I about to say? So one of the things that I learned while about this movie, like we're gonna stick on the Joker for a second real quick, but this is Jack Nicholson. The dude was smart. Aha, right? No, the dude was smart because you know what he did when he signed his contract? He got a back end dividend, which made him which made his deal for this movie one of the biggest overall deals in movie history. Because he got a percentage of the profits.
All right. That's Nicholson for you, right?
Mm-hmm. Jack Nicholson is a smart dude. I wish they hadn't killed him, and unfortunately, this movie does introduce a trope that I've never been a fan of, and that's killing off your villains if you're a comic book movie.
Okay,
I get why, but it's just what if?
No, when he 100% dead, and that was not confirmed.
He fell from a bell tower of a church. How can he not die?
2 words. It's a comic book movie.
That's 5 words.
Fuck you.
Okay, so let's get on to the female lead of this movie. Yeah, I agree, man. The merchandise you would get back then, it's so great, so great. I actually have I have the Batman Forever Batmobile somewhere around here. When we get to the movie, I'll try to find it. But
I always wanted a proper 1/6 scale of the Batmobile.
Did I ever show you this? My buddy got this for me when I was 19. It's a Lego Batmobile. If you were to buy it now, it's worth well over $1,000.
Now, you said Lego, is that something you put together? Or
this is something I put together myself, yeah.
Oh my shit.
Yeah. This is supposed to go up as well to show that. Yeah, it's one of my most prized possessions.
Yeah, beautiful, man.
Yep. Like I said, I looked it up because I don't have the instructions anymore. I wanted just for fun rebuild it. Yeah, don't. They're worth way too much money now.
How many?
At that time when I looked, it was a brand new one over $1,000.
I'm afraid to ask, how many pieces?
Oh, it's probably, I want to say about 1,500, maybe. Like,
Oh.
it's up there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good luck. It's snowing like hell here.
and I hope you're glued. I hope you did something.
It's never been glued. I've never lost a piece in 15 years. I
Yeah.
even brought it down with me to Vancouver.
Wow.
But yes, so like I said, on the subject of the female lead, we have none other than the beautiful Kim Basinger as Vicki Vale, one of my very first crushes in film. And to be honest, Kim Basinger is still one of my crushes.
I love her.
Think of Vicki Vale?
I love her. She's a little bit of a screamer. She has that oh God, what's her fucking name? I'm Temple of Doom.
Oh, God, Willie.
Really? She has a really syndrome, like they call it. Where 90% of the dialogue is God, that hurts my. But I like her. Not my favorite Batman love interest in the movie.
I put her in the, like, not number one, but she's definitely in the top part for me.
Yeah, same here. I think we might have a number one. I have a.
If you go back and you look at the characterization of Vicki Vale they were going for from the comics, she definitely fits that mold. She definitely does fit that like 1940s type image.
I guess you're looking at. I guess I'm just looking at it from a modern set of eyes, and that style doesn't really work all that much.
Oh man, I think Vicki Vale in here is just absolutely stunning from her outfits.
Yeah.
And like, yes, you did say she was a screamer, but she did kind of hold her own sometimes. Like, she definitely held her own against a couple Jokers.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine.
Which is fair. But okay. So, fun fact: who was originally supposed to play Vicki Vale? We just talked about.
And then who we talking about in the video? And that Benning.
Einhorn is a man. Sean Young. It was originally supposed to be Sean Young, and she was cast. She was doing rehearsals. They were doing rehearsal for a scene that ended up being cut from the film. It was a scene that involves horseback riding. Yes, Batman was supposed to be on a horse. However, unfortunately, she fell off the horse and broke her ankle right before filming had to start. So they had to get somebody who was available to hop on a plane to London the next day, and that's how Kim Basinger was cast.
Now, is he going to be the same Vicki Vale? Do we know?
Well, that we don't know because we don't know. Like, I mean, yes, the script was supposed to be the same, but we don't know how she was going to portray it. That's the thing. It would have been different.
If I'm being honest, I haven't seen anything with it.
You've never seen anything with Sean Young?
No.
Yeah, you've seen Ace Ventura, though. Well, no, sorry. I had to contact my Uncle Bingo. We got to go pay the check now. Sorry, Taco. She there's a couple. Well, you saw the first Blade Runner, I'm assuming. Bill Murray Combi Stripes. Of course, she's in Ace Ventura. Like, she was in a fair amount of movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't know the name to the
I personally don't think she would have been as good. Yeah. I think Kim Basinger is a better actor. There's a reason why Kim Basinger won an Oscar for LA Confidential.
Oh, I remember they won an Oscar for Vicki Vale. I was like, I don't know what they're smoking, but I would like some.
Yeah, I'm out. And of course, one of the things that I do like the relationship between Vicki Vale and Alexander Knox, played by an actor who right now I'm blanking on. Hold on, what's his name? Come on. Robert Wolf. That's it. Robert Wolf. What do you think of Alexander Knox?
Great character. For a long time, I thought he was John C. Reilly. Look alike.
I can kind of see that, yeah.
And I love that they brought him back from Crisis on
Yes, that is one of the things I liked about the Crisis crossovers, that they were able to take things from other worlds. So they brought back this world by having Alexander Knox and, of course, a picture of Michael Keaton's Bruce Wayne. They paid homage to the 66 by having Burt Ward himself. dressed in Robin colors. They paid homage to the Birds of Prey one-off TV series, which blew my mind. Like, yeah, it was cool that they acknowledged these characters and finally gave them their due.
And don't forget, they brought back two Superman. And then they're all beautifully with Crisis. You know who I mean?
Oh, for sure. I've always thought this particular Superman, spoilers, is Brandon Routh. They've completely redeemed Brandon Routh's Superman. Not that he was a bad Superman in Returns, but they redeemed him.
If you wouldn't let me finish, I've been talking about Tom Welling. And then Clark beautifully, him married after a long time.
Gotcha.
And what they did with Brandon Routh is kind of what they did with Andrew Garfield. They lived on one guy wanting more Superman from Brandon Routh.
Oh God, what I wouldn't give for a Brandon Routh, that era Superman that they portrayed.
Can you imagine HBO Max series, Superman Prime, from Brandon Routh coming back and play Superman?
Dude, you're making me drool, man. You're making me drool.
You can recast Lois. Lois can be recast. And obviously recast that.
Well, yeah, because I don't know sorry, we'll get back on to Batman in a moment, but I don't think they specifically said it was the same Batman as Returns, did they?
You mean Superman?
You know what I mean. But I don't remember.
No, but I got the feeling it was more to be the Christopher Reeve Superman. So
yeah, you then need
that. I don't know. My point is, you can now Brandon recast.
Watch his episode where he's Superman in the Crisis, and then tell me that.
I'm sorry. Mini rant here. Crisis gets too much hate. Then they have fantastic crossover, and I love it.
The thing is, I don't think Frenchie ever saw it.
No, I'm not talking about friendship.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying I know a lot of people hate on it, but for me, that Crisis crossover was the endgame for my Eververse.
It was.
I lost all my interest in Eververse after that, because for me, personally, it ended perfectly, and
okay, I can see I concede. I actually never finished it, unfortunately. I will eventually do it. I just wish they'd release it as a package on iTunes. But anyways,
yeah, me too, man.
We're not here to talk Superman. We're here to talk the other great icon of DC Comics, Batman and Batman 89. So, folks, don't forget to like and subscribe to this video on our channel. You know, all that stuff definitely helps us.
One more thing about Crisis. I forgot. They brought one of the most iconic Batman, the live action Batman.
Yes.
Kevin Conroy. Everybody went out over that. And I have to admit, he kicked out.
Oh, 100%. There it is.
Anyway, all right, 1989.
So yes, Batman 1989. So from this, we got some of the most iconic not weaponry. We got some of the most iconic vehicles in all of superhero movies, and we're going to start it off with the most iconic, the Batmobile.
Ooh, look at that!
Where does this rank on the Batmobiles for you?
Number one. Easy.
Number one? Yeah, I'd probably say it's second too.
Easy. The Tumbler is my number two. But that is so far behind.
I have that in Lego as well.
Of course you do. But yeah, this Batmobile is art. It's not just a vehicle, it's art. This
is the Batmobile to end all Batmobiles. I don't think there'll ever be one to take the place of this. It is such a beautiful design. Unfortunately, when they made it, not necessarily street legal, but there are a few around that are street legal. And last I heard, comedian Jeff Dunham actually owned one of them.
Over or under 45%. We see this in the Flash movie.
Oh, over. You don't think they're going to bring back Keaton's Batman and bring back one of the most iconic things about him?
Yeah, I have to say over too.
Now, here's an even harder question about that. Now, which costume
Well, they showed it in the OC.
Did they?
Yeah, I think they showed it already.
Okay, I'll have to go back and rewatch that.
And even
Me
the
too.
OC.
If I'm being honest, me too, because the newer one is a muscle car that's been modified. The one that's going to be in the Robert Pattinson one.
Yeah, but it's not very Batty-like. It's cool,
Ben, if you
cool.
actually go back and you read like a lot of the year one stuff, it's not a bat like Batmobile.
Okay, okay, that's
Yeah,
fair.
and I mean, if you even go back into Batman's history, there's at one point you're just driving a regular, I think it was a VW.
Okay, I'm just going off
Yeah.
movies. Going,
No, for sure. Of course. I like it too, just because, like I said, it's the idea of the muscle car being turned into the bat kind of makes it more.
It's going to be cool. No doubt it's going to be cool.
Totally. And then, of course, we had the other one, which, like I said earlier, if you go back on Adam Savage's Tested and watch that video, it's the Batwing, which gave us one of the most. It's my favorite shot of the whole movie. I love this shot. It's so good they even used it as the cover of the soundtrack album. Not the soundtrack, the score album.
Is that the more iconic Batman shot? You think?
Most iconic Batman shot without Batman in it.
Fair enough.
That's true. He can finally move his head. Michael Keaton is the one who invented that, where you had to turn your whole body to move your head because you couldn't do it. You could.
Yeah, but it looks so cool. I love that costume.
Oh no, me too. Me too. I hope the only alteration they did is the head movement.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Otherwise, it wouldn't make sense. Yeah, just look at how gorgeous that shot is. Like, oh, I want to kiss the guy.
Please tell me you have that poster hanging somewhere.
They never made that as a poster, but that's a good idea.
Oh,
that's a good
idea.
idea.
That's another idea. That's ready to me.
Yeah, no, that would be a different one. Although I really do love my Batman Returns movie poster.
Which one is it? The one.
I don't think you've ever seen it. Sorry for the hand, folks. I have the movie poster.
Oh, that is sick.
And I have that one as well, just so you know.
I'm sorry. The movie My Man Can Fly.
Yep, and that's why I have it in front of my computer, so I could always use it as a reminder. What was I about to say? Oh yeah, and there's another great shot. Let's talk about the score. Let's talk about Danny Elfman's score. This was his first major score. Yes, he had done was it Pee-wee's Big Adventure before this?
Yeah.
I've actually never seen the Pee Wee Herman movies. Do not hurt me.
I'm not going to hurt you. I only seen the first one.
He's watching in one of his favorite movies.
Really? Mm-hmm. It's good. I like it, but okay. Batman. Elfman's score. So iconic. They brought it back for Justice League.
And they used the tone for the animated series.
That too. What is more iconic? Elfman's Batman or Elfman's Spider-Man?
Batman. I couldn't even tell you. Honestly, I couldn't even tell you what Spider-Man sounds like, but I can hum the Batman finale score. Before we get to that, I do want to bring this up from Lou. If it is a version of Keaton's Batman, not the one from '89, what's the chances we actually see Nicholson's Joker back? I'm going to say 0, based on the fact that Nicholson's retired from acting, and he's almost 90. He's old. We wouldn't do it.
You wouldn't do it.
No.
But
his last movie.
But one all the rage right now. Deep fake. So I think we could either archive footage, get somebody in and put Nicholson's face on it.
I think if they're going that route where it's a different version of Keaton's Batman, it's possible. I just don't know if they do it. They might, you know what? It's more likely if it is the '89 Batman, they'll definitely make mention of it. There probably will be pictures, but I do not see Nicholson's Joker coming back in any form.
Catwoman.
Possible. Michelle Pfeiffer could probably still do it.
Have you seen Batman on the Wasp?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She could probably still do it.
I know. I'm agreeing with you. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah.
But we'll talk about her next week.
No.
But yeah, back to the score. This score, like honestly, the finale piece, which is the piece you hear when you see this moment, is one of my favorite written pieces of music of all time because it's grand. It feels big, but it also uses the canon device. A canon device is when you use the same phrase, but you repeat it a few bars after the original one. So it's like bum, ba, ba, bum, ba, ba, bum, ba, ba. That's called a canon, where they each start at different times, but it's the same line. You get that in this part of the score. Bum, ba, 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 bum, ba, ba, ba,
Remind me after the show. I have a very important question for you.
okay. But yeah, no, like seriously, that scene, you're getting the rising shot up the tower, and it's getting rise bigger and bigger, and then you get to this, and you're bum, ba, ba, bum, 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 and then you get the big grandioso, and then dun 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 credits. Like that is as epic as of an ending piece as you will ever get in a film score.
Dude, I love this movie so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm here to please. No, I don't know. I'm still gonna give it over to Elfman because I honestly, outside of the Bane stuff from Zimmer's score, I couldn't tell you a single piece.
I like it.
It's not memorable.
I don't love it. I like it. I don't love it.
Yeah, and again, not to take away from it because it's a good score, but you good?
And you can say Batman. I like it, man. What about it says this is a Batman scroll?
Exactly. It's honestly one I do go back and listen to a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to do a little something fun here. Now, I just realized that Batman 1966 isn't on what we're going to do, so we're going to have to fix that later. But I've decided we are going to be ranking these movies at the very end. Now, Ben. Oh, sorry. We're going to do the Batman. That's long week. I apologize, folks. We're going to be ranking the Batman, but not just Michael Keaton. We're going to be ranking the Batman from every movie. Now, where would you put 1989's Michael Keaton Batman?
Personally, S, but I'm happy with A.
I too would give it an S.
Okay, yeah.
I do think personally, I might actually give the Returns Keaton overall the nod, but I do think this one does deserve to be an S because it's the one that kicked it off.
S for now, but right, you go to A later, if that makes sense.
No, that's fair. I would put it as a low S personally because there's still some stuff about it, like like we do. Everyone loves the "let's get nutsy," but come on, it's goofy.
Oh no, Mike your tongue. That is awesome.
I didn't say it wasn't awesome, but you got to take it for what it is. It's a freaking goofy moment.
It's a comic book movie. It's supposed to be a little goofy.
True, but it's like, you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. It's like,
he did in his prime.
This was this mom, and that's something we didn't even talk about was the casting of Michael Keaton. Because if everyone remembers, everyone gave Heath Ledger shit when he was cast as the Joker, but it was just the same when Keaton was cast because only people knew him as Mr. Mom at that point.
Imagine him trying or something back then. Oh my god!
That's the thing. People were in an outrage, and there was no Twitter. Think about that for a second.
Michael Keaton Canada is like New Keaton controversy and then put up with all this Twitter shit.
Yeah, no, it definitely would have been interesting if they had Twitter back then. But
do you think if they had Twitter, do you think Keaton would have been Batman?
Oh yeah. Okay, so now we are definitely going to be ranking these movies. Nope, never mind. I got to create my own ranking. Never mind. We will do that next week. I don't have that one prepared. I apologize. Yeah, see, for now, it's going to be S, but I wouldn't be surprised if it gets pushed down to top A at the end. I really wouldn't.
Yeah, even though I love it, for me, S, but it will be S too, knowing what we have yet to come, and knowing the backlash we would get if we didn't move it to A2.
And this is going to be a hot take, but I would not give Clooney a D for one reason. We'll get to it when we get to Batman and Robin. But on that note, before we go, we're going to be doing something a little different with this. So at the end of every show, we are going to be playing a clip or two of some of our friends, past and old, from around, past and present, from around our space, and ask them to send in a video giving us their thoughts. So we actually got one, and it is from our old friend Lou Frenchie, who you see in the chat. So I will take myself, Ben off screen, and I will quickly play that video.
Hey y'all, it's Frenchie. Look, when you guys said, look, we're talking about some 89 Batman and wanted some opinions, yeah, I'm down. For me, Tim Burton's Batman 89 is probably the Batman I still think about the most. Dark Knight and everything is amazing, but that made my childhood. Jack Nicholson, especially at the time, couldn't get a better match than him to play the Joker. My biggest gripe with the movie, though, now I know movies. I'm all grown up, apparently, responsibilities. It's a Joker movie. It really feels like a Joker movie and not a Batman movie. But at the same time, you have Jack Nicholson. Kind of have to use him the most you can. For Keaton as Batman, I was too young to understand the whole controversy, but I love it. Is he the perfect Bruce Wayne or Batman? No, I don't think so. I think Christian Bale takes that mantle. Same thing for Joker. But overall, as a movie, especially for its time and what it did for other comic book movies, it's definitely up there and one of the best. Would I change a couple of things? Yes. Do I understand the backdrop of Prince in a Batman movie? A lot of people love it. That's one part I don't like. I'm not a fan of Prince's music in the movie. I find it clashes. That being said, overall, I give it a B+. All right. Bye-bye.
That's a good take. I never really thought about it as a Joker movie. But, if you think about it, it's right, because it is a Joker origin story. Yeah. Look, Frenchie, that's actually a good point. Never thought about that. Never thought about it. And thank you very much for sending in that clip. And hopefully next week we will definitely be having some more, because I actually do think it's good to hear from our community what they think about these movies. I really do.
Absolutely.
So, like we said, next week it is the sequel to Batman 89, Batman Returns, which is a much darker film, and which, funny enough, didn't scare me as a child.
Really? You didn't get
the penguin in that movie? You would have scared the daylights out of me, but no.
Yeah, wow.
Me.
How about Walken? Did Walken scare you?
We'll talk about Walken next week. Huh? Yes. All right. So, Ben, where could everybody find you, my friend?
Everyone can find me right here on this channel on Sunday nights on Northern Online, when I'm on a show with Chris TV, where we play games, do entertainment news. They have a fun time. Have fun doing it. Come join in, and right here. Oh, and Sunday morning with Soda and a friend finishing up cake with Get Ready. Last week we did top 5. What did we do? Top 5 supporting
characters, yes.
And this week we're doing top 5 animated live action movies.
So my understanding, it's a live animation hybrid type movie. I will need some more clarification on that, but definitely tune in for that. So that is on Sunday mornings at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. As for myself, you can find me on my personal Instagram and Twitter at soda_the_saxman. You can find me on the shows that Ben has aforementioned that we do together. You can also find me Wednesday nights, coming back on February 2nd. Yes, on February 2nd for the Squared Slice with myself and my co-host Dustin. But over on the Let's Get Ready Network, you can find me at 2 o'clock Pacific Saturdays over on the Dropkicks, which is a wrestling show that I do with the host. I'm the co-host with the host Dagan, and we break down the news, the weekly news in wrestling. Last few weeks, there been quite a few. It's been quite a few weeks in the wrestling world, but definitely come and check us out with that. It's over. We do it over on Twitch, and then it gets exported over onto YouTube there. And also coming back on the 29th, so 9 days from now, we've got another edition of Let's Talk About Star Wars. If I'm not mistaken, it is Return of the Alien game, so definitely check that out. And don't forget our friend 50's show, The Greatest Show in the Galaxy, which will be moving to a new time. On instead of Wednesdays at noon, it's going to be over on noon Pacific. Sorry, it's going to be on Mondays at 6 Pacific, 9 Eastern. So definitely check that out. So on behalf of myself, on behalf of Ben, thank you very much for joining us as we delved into Anton's first vision of Gotham City. And we will see you next time on Rewind the Tape. Same bat time, same bat channel. You guys have yourself a good evening, and we will see you later. And I just realized that's the wrong video. Have a good night, folks.